The following is a presentation of SC State Athletics.
It's the final game of the 2015 season for the South Carolina State Bulldogs on the road in Savannah, Georgia against the Savannah State Tigers. For the Bulldogs and Buddy Pough, pride is on the line. The Bulldogs have won 16 of 17 in this series and look to close out the season on a positive note. The Buddy Pough Show season finale starts right now.
You're watching the Buddy Pough Show, featuring highlights of SC State University Bulldog football. This week's matchup, your SC State University Bulldogs versus the Savannah State University Tigers. Our sponsors are the County of Orangeburg, Palmetto Health, the South Carolina Education Lottery, State Farm Insurance, the Regional Medical Center, the City of Orangeburg, the South Carolina Department of Agriculture, Vital Care, and Bill Owens Custom Clothing. And now our host, Ernest Robinson.
The Bulldogs rebounded last week against Norfolk State, scoring 14 unanswered points in the fourth quarter for a come-from-behind 17-10 win over the Spartans. Now, Savannah State, despite having just one win, South Carolina State knows that we can ill afford to get off to a slow start against the Tigers.
They've played very well at times, and they took that same Norfolk team that we struggled with for 3.5 quarters last week into overtime. So we better figure something out here pretty quickly. We like to think that we found something toward the end of that game. We threw the ball around a little bit better, got the ball a bunch to our tight ends, some of our outside receivers. Let's hope that we can continue to do that kind of stuff again, that we can continue where we left off at this past week.
You talk about this game, Coach, the last game of the season, you're going to say so long to some teams, some players who, of course, had a big impact on this program. Javon Hargraves, I guess, kind of leading that group. Reggie Owens, character guys when you're talking about these seniors.
You're exactly right. We've got 5 captains today that are elected by the team. Guys who've really been just top-notch character guys all the way through. Hargraves and Temarrick Hemingway on offense. We've got Scoot Simmons, Antonio Hamilton, and Tevin Richards. Those guys will be our captains today, and we can't have but 4, but it was so close on those last two until we decided to just go ahead and make both of them. But all those guys are leaving us, and you got to shed a tear when you look at those guys going away because we're going to miss them.
Coach, when you start talking about missing them, you do plant the seed, though, for next year. You got some young kids who played well in big roles this year. How do you build on what they've done to kind of get prepared for next year in this final game?
Well, you see some people out there who can play the game, and it excites you about seeing where they carry us down the road a piece. Quarterback, some defensive linemen, a couple of defensive backs, our wide receiver corps. So we've got some guys that are really contributing a lot to this football team that you think can be special. So it's their time now. So it'll be fun to watch those guys and see what they can do for this program in the next coming years.
Coach, again, talking about getting off to a fast start. What do you try to do to get off to a fast start here today against Savannah State?
And we're going to get after them pretty good on defense. We're going to attack them and try to see if we can keep them from settling in. And then we're going to throw it around a good bit on offense. We like to think that might help us a good bit to get it opened up and find some run game that way.
Coach, taking a look at the starting lineup, big hole out there. Caleb York, once again, didn't play this week.
Didn't play, and, at least we knew had enough time to prepare this time. Got Collick going. He played really well. I thought I had some nice plays running and throwing the football. And then, we had a couple other guys that were banged up. Philip Henry in the secondary on offense, and, the rest of that crowd, seemed to be pretty healthy. So we really can't complain about where we are at this time of the season.
Special teams, of course, remained intact, and they were consistent all season.
They were, and Tyler Scandrick made a field goal or two, made all his extra points, and then Pettaway had a good day punting the ball, punted over 40 yards. So it was a good day for our specialists also.
Tyler Scandrick approaches, low line drive, taken by one of the up men. Now Kareem's back to Kershawn Wilson, who starts at the 18 at the 20. Kershawn breaks outside at the 30 on his feet, across the 35-yard line to the 37. Two receivers tight to the line of scrimmage. The football's on the near side. Wilson in motion from left to right. Shotgun snap, Spalding back to pass, pump fake, hit, and throws it up. It is nearly intercepted. Shotgun formation. Spalding back to pass. Quarterback draw. Wants to run. Goes over the right side. Chased by Hargraves. Can't get there. Deshaun Taylor misses him, but he's wrapped up. Brought down Tyler Smith on the tackle. 3rd down and 10 for South Carolina State from the Bulldog 41. Collick back to pass. Looking left. Throwing out there now. It is caught. Mikael Moody up at the 45-yard line. 4-down lineman from Savannah State. There's a shotgun snap. Give it to Scoot over the right side. Scoot with a hole at the 15. Spins at 10. Down to the 9-yard line. 2 receivers left, 1 right. They snap it back to Adrian. Looking. Adrian throwing. Has a man out there. Hemingway right through his hands. And a penalty marker will go down. This will be pass interference on Savannah State. Shotgun formation for Collick. Give inside. Scoot's not delivered. Scoot puts his head down into the end zone for the score. James Johnson will snap. Jerome Petaway will hold. High snap. Petaway gets it down. Scandrick's toe is in it, and Tyler is true, and it's good. So with 6:48 to go here in the first quarter, Bulldogs on the board first. 7 for South Carolina State, nothing for Savannah State. It's a high end over end. Kicking it's going to be Kershawn Wilson. Will field it at about the 4-yard line. At the 10, at the 15, up the left side, at the 20. Makes a move at the 25. Kershawn Wilson at the 30, 35, at the 40. Up to about the 47-yard line. Arshawn Spalding, the quarterback, from the shotgun. Quick pass over the hill, batted up in the air. Intercepted by Greg Newell of South Carolina State. Newell still on his feet, down to the 34-yard line of Savannah State. Bulldogs out of the pistol. They snap it back to Collick. Give inside Lewis Freeman across the 45 to 30, 35. Down to the 25-yard line. Still fighting Dondre Lewis Freeman. Down to the 18-yard line. Still pushing forward. Sophomore James Johnson from Dillon will snap. Petaway gets it down. Scandrick's toe is in it. It is strong, and it is through. So, with 3 minutes, 40 seconds to go here in the first quarter, South Carolina State tacks on a field goal. It's 10 for the Bulldogs, nothing for Savannah State. We've got a good crowd, good contingency of South Carolina State fans here in Savannah. Here's a snap. Barron blocked. Tevin Richards. Richards trying to pick it up. Does pick it up. Tevin Richards into the end zone. Tevin Richards has got him a touchdown. And with 1:26 to go here in the first quarter, it's 17 for South Carolina State, nothing for Savannah State. Arshawn Spalding in the backfield. Play action fake to Williams. Throws out in the flat. Nearly picked off and gone. At the 45, 30, 20, 15, 10. Touchdown, Savannah State. 17 for South Carolina State, 7 for Savannah State. 3rd down and 8. Back to pass is Collick. Collick throws over the middle. Caught Hemingway. 1st down at the 40. Still on his feet at the 40. And fumbles the football. Collick fumbled the football, and it's recovered by Savannah State. Shotgun formation. They give him a half-yard. Snap back to Spalding. Spalding over the middle. Got a man out there. Caught up at about the 34-yard line of South Carolina State. Tigers at the Bulldog 9-yard line. Snap back to Prunity. Keeps it himself over the left side. Prunity loses the football. It's fought for, and it is recovered. And let's see, it was recovered by South Carolina State in the end zone with 3 seconds, 2 seconds. They get the snap off. Collick back to pass. Here comes a blitz. Throws it over the middle. It's caught. Taquan West up at the 32-yard line. That means it's an empty backfield for quarterback Adrian Collick. Back to pass. Collick looking left. Throwing it out there, caught. Taquan West at the 20, 15, Taquan 10, 5, touchdown. Taquan West for South Carolina State. 37-yard touchdown pass. Adrian Collick to the senior Taquan West. Bulldogs on the board again. 8 minutes, 39 seconds to go here in the first half. Our score, South Carolina State 24, Savannah State 7. Shotgun formation for Savannah State. Alshon Spalding back in at quarterback. Spalding over the left side at the 50. Spalding at the 40, 40, 30. Spalding, one man to beat. Spalding into the end zone for the score. But with 8:23 to go here in the first half, our score, South Carolina State 24, Savannah State 13. Shotgun snap, back to pass, Collick looking. Collick keeping himself now. Collick fighting, fumbles the football. It is fought for. It's recovered by Savannah State at the 34-yard line. 2nd down now and 15. They snap it back to him. Keeping himself as Spalding again. Spalding over the right side, and check it out. That may be Pruitt who'd come in. John Barron, there's a snap. His toe is in it. It is up. It is clearly long enough, and it is good. So John Barron, 39-yard field goal attempt with 5:58 to go, makes it 24 for South Carolina State, 16 for Savannah State with 5:58 to go in the first half.
The 1st and 15 from the 23-yard line.
Snap back to Collick. Collick rolling to his left. Collick throwing the football, hit his arm. It is intercepted by Savannah State at the 35-yard line. Bulldogs showing blitz. And here comes a blitz up the middle. They throw it out in the flat. It's a flea flicker. And it's covered. They throw it out there. It's going to be short. It's intercepted by Antonio Hamilton. Hamilton trying to break free at the 45-yard line, 35-yard line. Can't do it. We could see that one coming. 3rd down and 6. Snap it back to him. Collick back to pass. Throws it out. Caught. Taquan West over the middle. Taquan makes one guy miss. Gets down inside the 35 to the 33-yard line. Jamison and West to the right. To the left is Taquan Caldwell. Back to pass, over the middle, caught on the slant. Taquan West at the 10, Taquan at the 5, down to the 5-yard line, maybe the 4. Jamison and West are to the left. That's the near side, the short side of the field. They're moving right to left. Snap back to Collick. Blitz coming. Collick stands in the pocket, hits Taquan West, makes a move at the 5. Taquan reaches for the end zone. Touchdown, Taquan West. And the score at the half, South Carolina State 31, Savannah State 16. We'll have more of the Buddy Pough Show right after this timeout.
It's different here. So different that it will change everything you expect from a hospital. Because here, the care you receive transcends even the beauty of your surroundings. And not only does it look different, it also sounds and tastes and feels like something you've never experienced before. Introducing Palmetto Health Baptist Park Ridge. Choose a physician by visiting us online or by calling 803-296-CARE.
Since 2002, the lottery has helped award more than 1 million scholarships. So when you play, you're not just taking a chance, you're also giving one.
I was off my game. Every day, my hip got worse and worse.
The coach's arthritis progressed to the point where his joint was bone on bone. Between the pain and the loss of range of motion, he decided to have the hip replaced here at the Regional Medical Center.
I was walking the very next day. I was going so fast, they said, "Slow down, coach, slow down." It feels great to be coaching again.
The Regional Medical Center. We're changing how you think about health care.
You stumble over a blade of grass. Come on.
Clothing for Coach Buddy Pough, provided by Bill Owens Custom Clothing. Bill Owens Custom Clothing is a proud sponsor of the Buddy Pough Show.
Coach, a real productive first half offensively, but Savannah State came out and played well, didn't allow themselves to get taken out of the football game early.
Had a couple nice drives on offense, but Savannah gives us trouble. You're exactly right. They ran the football on us. Gave us a little bit of a hard time playing the option game.
When you start talking about us being able to throw the football, we did it last week in the fourth quarter. Today, Adrian did a good job, and Taquan West had a super day catching the football, especially in the first half.
And we needed him to, because we did not feel good about trying to run the football. We hadn't run the football good all year, so we needed to finally decide that and come out throwing from the very beginning.
All right, it is time now on the Buddy Pough Show for the Palmetto Health Injury Report, Coach. And the Palmetto Health Injury Report starts at the quarterback position. Caleb York for the second week in a row not in the lineup.
You're exactly right. And, that's a big deal for us. But we think that Collick can do the job for us, and he did a nice job for us today. But we had a couple other guys, Philip Henry on the other side. Both our quarterbacks, our quarterback on defense was out on that side too. So, we got some guys that were banged up. I guess it ought to be that way this time of the year. It's late in the year, but at the same time, those guys do hurt.
And Temarrick Hemingway went down, but fortunate enough to get him back.
We did. Temarrick went down for a while, and we were afraid for a while that it was a neck injury. But, he was able to come back later in the game.
All right, we'll take a time out here on the Buddy Pough Show. When we come back, we'll have more South Carolina State football as well as the Regional Medical Center. All heart player on this week's edition of the Buddy Pough Show.
SC State University is where you will find unlimited possibilities. With more than 70 standout degree programs, students get the kind of education that helps shape them into tomorrow's leaders. Our student life is vibrant with many exciting opportunities, and our athletic teams have hearts of champions. SC State University is open for success. Visit us today at scsu.edu.
It's different here. So different that it will change everything you expect from a hospital. Because here, the care you receive transcends even the beauty of your surroundings. And not only does it look different, it also sounds and tastes and feels like something you've never experienced before. Introducing Palmetto Health Baptist Park Ridge. Choose a physician by visiting us online or by calling 803-296-CARE.
Welcome back to the Buddy Pough Show. Our Paul Harris sat down with South Carolina State linebacker / defensive end Darius Leonard.
I'm Paul Harris, a graduate student at South Carolina State University for the Buddy Pough Show. And joining me today, we have redshirt sophomore linebacker from Lakeview, South Carolina, Darius Leonard. Darius, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Last year, you were named MEAC Rookie of the Year. How have you built on that this season?
I just became more of a leader on and off the field, and then I just worked harder and try to be more of a role model on the field.
You come from a very athletic family. Tell us about your siblings and your cousin who plays football here at South Carolina State University. And do you feel any pressure to perform well?
My mom, she was very athletic, and also my dad. But I have an older brother who actually played at Clemson and went to the NFL. I have a sister who's playing basketball right across the fence at Claflin University, and Bishop Ford is my little cousin. He's a running back for us now, and I think it's a small little pressure there because you don't want to let your family down. So either you're going to play hard or you want to make your family proud to come out and watch you play. So I really think that's a small little pressure there.
When preparing for a game, a lot of us see you hype before the game. What type of music do you listen to?
I'm a different type of guy. I kind of like to listen to country music to get my mind right.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, what is your major? And also, you're a junior in the classroom, a redshirt sophomore on the field. What are your plans after graduation?
I'm a physical education major, and I want to be a teacher, and I want to be a coach back in the high school just to try to give back to the community and help little kids out. Because I know when I was smaller, I wanted somebody to be in somebody's life I wanted somebody to be in my life that can actually tell me how's the road going to be ahead of me. So I just want to give the kids back at home just a good reference of how the road going to be when they grow up.
Well, that's great to hear that you're going to give back after graduation. Appreciate it for joining us, Darius.
Thank you.
That's it for this segment. I'm Paul Harris for the Buddy Pough Show.
Thanks, Paul. This week, the Orangeburg Regional Medical Center All-Heart player coach, a senior kid out of Lexington who's had a great career here at South Carolina State.
Taquan West, he had a nice game today and caught balls all over the place, had a couple touchdown balls. And, anytime you got a guy that you can go to in those critical situations, he is that guy. So I wish he was coming back. He's a 4-year guy that we played straight through. Wish we had redshirted him as a freshman, but he's done at the end of the season. So Taquan West is our all-heart guy.
the regional medical center all-heart player, Taquan West of South Carolina State. We'll have more in just a moment.
My first thought was, what's going to happen to me? Am I going to live? My second thought was, I needed to live because I thought about my children.
Betty's mammogram showed a lump in her breast. We surgically removed the cancer.
And Betty was referred to Mabry Cancer Center, where she received chemotherapy and radiation therapy.
It was an opportunity to live again.
The Regional Medical Center. We're changing how you think about health care.
Today, I'm cancer-free.
Since 2002, the lottery has helped award more than 1 million scholarships. So when you play, you're not just taking a chance. You're also giving one.
SC State University is where you will find unlimited possibilities. With more than 70 standout degree programs, students get the kind of education that helps shape them into tomorrow's leaders. Our student life is vibrant, with many exciting opportunities, and our athletic teams have hearts of champions. SC State University is open for success. Visit us today at scsu.edu.
John Barron kicking off. Barron, high end over end kick's going to be short. Hamilton signals for a fair catch at the 26-yard line. Pollock from the shotgun, same formation, looking left this time. Throws out in the flat. He's got a man out there. That is Temarrick Hemingway, who's back in the ballgame. Hemingway fighting forward, gets 8 yards on the play and a first down. Shotgun formation for Adrian Collick. Back to pass. Collick over the middle. It is nearly intercepted and intercepted. In motion is Wilson from left to right. Inside handoff, Williams cuts back into the 15, 10, 5, touchdown. 31-22 is the score. South Carolina State leading on Savannah State. Shotgun snap, play action, they throw it out in the flat, got a man out there caught. And about the 15-yard line, football comes loose and is picked up. DeAndre Pough has it into the end zone for the score with 7:19 to go in the third quarter. South Carolina State can breathe a little better for the moment. 38 for South Carolina State, 22 for Savannah State. Spalding settles in from the shotgun. Handoff inside Oliver, right up the middle at the 25-30. Oliver still on his feet at the 35, still on his feet at the 40. Tackle down at the 45-yard line. Tigers, 3 receivers left. Wilson now goes from left to right. Back to pass, they throw it out in the flat. It's batted down. What a nice play by Reggie Owens. That is the end of the third quarter play here from Savannah State. Our score, South Carolina State 38, Savannah State 22. Dondre Lewis-Freeman to the left of the quarterback, Adrian Collick. Collick back to pass. Collick, quick throw out in the flat. He's got Taquan West caught and tackled down at the 37-yard line. Good snap. Pettaway fields a low snap. Pooch punt. Gets it up in the air. Hits down at the 5, and Bulldogs are there. James Johnson downs it at the 1-yard line. 11:30 to go here in the football game. First and 10 from the 16-yard line. Richard Williams with the keeper. Reggie Owens with the tackle in the backfield. Bulldogs showing blitz. Here comes pressure right up the middle. Reggie Owens has him wraps up, and he is down at about the 1-yard line. Reggie Owens got there.
Safety.
Darius Leonard got there as well. Touchdown, South Carolina State. Our score, South Carolina State 45, Savannah State 22. Snap it back to Cock, throws out in the flat, and not looking and intercepted. It's going to go for a touchdown for Savannah State. So with 7 minutes and 20 seconds to go, Savannah State showing some life. South Carolina State 45, Savannah State 29. Collick's in the shotgun. He's got Dondre Brown behind him. He's going to run if he gets it. There goes Dondre Brown. Dondre's going to the end zone. Touchdown, I tell you. Dondre was going to go. And the final score, South Carolina State 52, Savannah State 29. Coach, this was one where they kept swinging, and our guys kept taking the football away, giving us opportunities to keep that nice lead.
You're exactly right. We found a lot of different ways to score, and you can tell it's a competition of sorts with our team trying to figure out how they can score in different ways. So we got some guys that made some big plays. It was a big deal for us too because we needed the points.
When you start looking at the Savannah State team, I thought they were much improved. I can see why there were so many problems for teams like Norfolk State. But Coach, what do you think was the key this afternoon?
Well, we came out with a plan to, not think that they wouldn't score. We knew they'd find ways to get some points on the board, so we made sure that we did things on offense from the beginning, throwing around a good bit, and anything else we could find in our special teams game to create points that way.
Coach, we've talked about the seniors. Let's talk about next year now and this young football team, some young folks on offense, and some people are going to have to fill some big shoes next year on this football club.
We are losing a lot of big-time guys off this football team. You're talking about the Hemingways and the Hargraves on, everybody's pro boards. So these guys we think will have a chance to be in the NFL next year. And then, we've got some other guys, on this team that we've got to, make sure we fill the Paulins and the Hamiltons of the world. So, this team is going to be, I think, as good next year as it possibly can be. But at the same time, we better have a good offseason because we got work to do.
You talk about work to do in the conference this past year, probably more competitive than we've seen it before. A&T, North Carolina Central, who we did not play this year, all have been teams that have been on the way up.
Those guys have all been pretty even with us in the last couple of years. We were 5-way tie last year. It looks like it's going to be similar this year. So you're talking about a pretty heavy top of the line of this conference. So we better really be on our P's and Q's if we want to hang in there with these guys.
Coach, a lot of folks are going to putting the Buddy Pough show together. Folks you want to thank for such a successful season.
It was. And anytime you do something like this, you got so many people that take a part in making this happen. We have some great sponsors, and we want to make sure that we thank them all because I don't know if we can do it without them.
Talk about not doing without some guys. That coaching staff of yours played a huge role in this season.
And we've got a great group of young men who work very, very hard every week to make this football team come together. Offensive guys, defensive guys, special teams guys, and some of our extra personnel too. So it's a big staff of guys who do a great job of putting this team together each week.
Folks, every time we went out to play this week, South Carolina State on the road, fans were there in droves to support us everywhere we went.
It's unbelievable that we have more fans at their place than they do. So we had two groups of people here at the Savannah State game and the Norfolk game the previous week that were bigger than the home field attendance. So thank you, fans, State Club, all of our support groups for coming out and supporting us that way.
That'll be the final word here for this season here on the Buddy Pough Show. Thank you for watching. I'm watching the Buddy Pough Show each week, and of course we hope to be here next week and hope next year, and hope you're here next year as well as we present the Buddy Pough Show here on Fox Sports Southeast. Have a great year, everybody.
Thank you for watching the Buddy Pough Show, featuring highlights of SC State University Bulldog football. Our sponsors are the County of Orangeburg, Palmetto Health, the South Carolina Education Lottery, State Farm Insurance, the Regional Medical Center, the City of Orangeburg, the South Carolina Department of Agriculture, Vital Care, and Bill Owens Custom Clothing. Join us again next season for exciting highlights of SC State University Bulldog football.